I'd like to thank Mark James from Bear Creek Custom Timber for joining me today for St. Pete Open for Business. Mark, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you, Brett. Good morning to you. Appreciate it.
Oh, absolutely. Tell the people of St. Pete what it is that Bear Creek Custom Timber does and how it is that you serve the community.
Well, I'll say a logger slash sawyer slash wood shop. By that I
Okay.
mean I'm not an arborist. I don't go down and cut down trees for people and dispose of them. But what I do is take down trees solely for the purpose of using them to recreate them into something else, furniture, that type of thing. So I'll take some really high-end trees and I'll slab them from the logs into slabs so I can turn them into usable lumber. And I do a lot of work with live edge furniture, live edges with the bark and the edges still on the sides of the slab to try and give it an organic look rather than dimension lumber, which is square and that type of thing. I also build musical instruments as well. I build five-string banjos and I build acoustic guitars.
Wow. So I imagine that you get quite the variety of um, projects that are there. What are some of your favorites that you've made?
Well, I like making tables. That's kind of my big thing because no table is ever the same. And they've recently there's this advent of what they call river tables, which is
Okay.
where they utilize an epoxy and they pour colored epoxy into the table to try and give it a different look. I'm not a huge fan of it, but it's very popular with my customers. And so I do it, and it's fun. You never really know what you're going to end up with, and that's the same with cutting open a log. You never know. It's like opening Pandora's box. Once you cut it open and lay it open, you don't know what's going to be inside, and you see some amazing things. And we have some amazing trees growing in the Tampa Bay area.
That's awesome, Mark. Now, we've seen with the recent changes for a lot of businesses, they're going takeout and delivery only if they're a restaurant. What are some of the creative ways that you're keeping the doors open?
Well, it was a bit of a hurdle and kind of confusing because we were getting mixed messages both from the state and from the county,
Right.
what we can do and what we can't do. And the county put forth some more stringent, I would say more stringent rules. Um, so, I'm a single guy shop. It's just me in here and that's it. And I do it all. Where typically my business comes, I would say 90% of my income comes from Saturday morning markets, indie
Okay.
market, evening brewery markets that you would have during the week and that kind of thing. Of course, I haven't done any of those in over a month now.
Right.
So what I did was, I mean, I obviously offered shipping, but a lot of the stuff that I create doesn't necessarily lend itself to ship just by the sheer
Sure.
weight of it. So I just kind of said, look, I don't care what you buy, and I don't care how big or how small or how expensive or how cheap it is. I'll deliver it to you for free. I don't care where you live. I mean, if you're in Sarasota or if you're in, Hudson, I'll drive up there and bring it to you. That's the only way that I can offer anything. Um,
Okay.
there were times when I would say, there's a minimum dollar figure on it, in order to make
Yeah.
it worthwhile, but not anymore. It doesn't matter. If you need it, I'll bring it to you. If it's small enough, I'll ship it. But some people will say, well, we'll come to your shop, and obviously I can't do that.
Sure.
So, in fact, about a week ago, I delivered a table to a lady on St. Pete Beach, and it was very simple. I mean, social distancing. I knocked on her door. I set the table by the door. I stood back 6 feet. She came out, looked at it, loved it. You know,
Awesome. Mark, how is it that now that you don't have the fairs and markets, how is it that people are able to get in touch with you? Where can they find you on the web, social media, and the like?
well, I have a website, bearcreekcustomtimber.com, and all the information is on there, including I don't typically put items up there for sale, but since the advent of the COVID-19, all of the items that I have available that I make in advance are up there with the listing of the prices, and then we can work out, delivery or shipping. I'm also on Instagram at Bear Creek Custom Timber, and on Facebook, I have a very active Facebook page. It's probably more active than any of them, and that's Bear Creek Custom Timber LLC.
Okay.
So it's Facebook slash Bear Creek Custom Timber LLC.
And we'll make sure that all of those are linked in the video description. Mark, I want to thank you very much. Are there any of those things that you currently have that are pre-made, ready to go, right out the door, that aren't custom but are on the website that you'd like to give a shout out to?
Um, Now, I mean, there's a lot of different things that the odd part about what I do is making it on spec is very difficult. I
Right.
only have, but where am I going to store an 8 foot dining room table? You know what I mean?
Sure.
And hoping somebody will buy it. But I mean, I have a table that's under construction right now that I'm working on, a small one. I have a guitar actually on the other side of me that's in the midst of being built. So those things will be, available pretty quickly. And like I said, if you go to my Facebook page, you kind of follow along. I post a lot of stuff of where I'm at in the process of constructing them, and people can see what's there.
Awesome, Mark. I want to thank you very much for sharing with people how it is that you are open for business here in St. Pete.
Thank you for everything you're doing, Brett. We appreciate it.